gold with the men's and women's hockey teams.
That's right.
Both against Canada. It was great. Did you watch a game yesterday?
I did. It was
wonderful. Great. Yeah. Jack Hughes with that last-second overtime goal with the 2 teeth missing from his face and the bloody mouth, with that big smile on his face. Right. Oh, it was awesome. I loved it. Loved it. And the weather. Okay, we'll talk about the weather too. It's going to be above normal today. We'll see plenty of sunshine, as you can see in a Walter Clark 111 camera right now.
Beautiful.
Some clouds begin to move in. We have a few changes as we move into the middle of the week, including strong gusty winds. I'll look at that and some of the temps for the rest of the week as well.
Okay, see you soon. Thanks, Jerry.
Go USA.
Go USA. Our top story this morning, community members gathered in Salton City yesterday to honor the life of 17-year-old Tania Tovar. Tovar was first reported missing at the start of December. Months later, investigators discovered the remains found near Salton City at the end of last year were in fact hers. The vigil was held just outside of 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum's home, the suspect accused of murder in connection with Tania's case. His home was allegedly the last location she was seen alive. Family, friends, and loved ones stood shoulder to shoulder as they honored Tovar's life and continued to demand for justice.
This moment right now goes to show that no matter how he felt about her, no matter how much or how less he cared about her, this goes to show that there can be beauty from ashes. And it goes to show that she was loved, she was cared for, she was remembered, she was thought of. When it comes down to community, community is everything because it can either make or break an entire situation, and it made this situation what it is right now. A lot of the people, the neighbors, they are actually the ones who really put their best foot forward.
People were just placing flowers. I felt like they needed to know who she was, how she looked. And I found that photo on her Facebook mom profile, and I just took it to go get printed out, and I bought a frame, and then I just hung it up right there on the fence. We want where everybody wants, justice.
Feinblum is currently under custody without bail and is expected to appear at the Imperial County Superior Court this morning. We will be at his court appearance and we'll bring you the very latest. Coachella Mayor Stephen Hernandez also scheduled to appear at the Indio Courthouse this morning for continued hearings in his perjury trial. Mayor Hernandez was first arrested and charged in the case back in October of 2025 and faces multiple felony charges of perjury as well as conflict of interest. Prosecutors say a majority of the charges stem from Hernandez failing to disclose income from a property in Coachella and signing a contract with a local organization for his personal financial interest. That hearing is set for 8:30 this morning, and we'll be there, and we'll bring you the very latest on that case as well. Violence is unfolding in Mexico after the Mexican army killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. According to a statement from the country's Defense Department, the cartel leader died while being flown to Mexico City after being wounded during an operation to capture him. The Jalisco New Generation cartel had become Mexico's most powerful cartel, known for trafficking huge quantities of fentanyl and other drugs into the U.S. The White House confirming over the weekend that the U.S. provided intelligence support to assist with that operation. Now, the death set off several hours of unrest with vehicles being torched throughout the state, leading to a number of roadblocks. The unrest leading to numerous flight cancellations, trapping tourists in the area as well. NBC's Marianne Favre reports.
Puerto Vallarta looks more like a war zone than a tourist destination, with dozens of separate fires burning throughout the city.
It's really scary. It's really scary.
Megan Phelps is from L.A. and lives half the year in Puerto Vallarta, but she never expected to see this view from her high-rise condo. She says at one point she counted 23 active fires.
They were setting fire to some of the gas stations. They set fire to multiple cars in front of the Costco. Pretty much the city's on lockdown.
The chaos there is impacting Bay Area travelers. At San Jose International, a flight to Guadalajara was canceled. So was a Volaris flight scheduled to arrive here from Puerto Vallarta this afternoon. Norma Hernandez was set to fly from SJC to Guadalajara tomorrow and drove all the way from Tracy to try to cancel the flight directly at the ticket counter because she couldn't get anyone to help her on the phone or online.
I'm canceling the trip because I have family members that live in Guadalajara, and when I spoke to them today, they said that everything is shut down. The neighborhood and where my parents, where we were going to be staying with my parents, there was chaos, a building, that was lit on fire, shots.
At SFO, 9 flights scheduled to arrive from Puerto Vallarta Sunday were canceled, according to the airport's website. Both Air Canada and United Airlines say they're temporarily canceling all flights to Puerto Vallarta. Delta Airlines says its flights to the region may also be impacted through at least Thursday. The U.S. State Department now advising Americans in Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara to shelter in place due to cartel violence.
And that was Marianne Favreau reporting. Meanwhile, Florida law enforcement shot and killed an armed man trying to enter Mar-a-Lago early Sunday morning. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and U.S. Secret Service say the suspect entered the Florida club's perimeter at around 1:30 in the morning yesterday while reportedly carrying a gas can and a shotgun. Officials say they confronted the man. He put down the gas can but raised the shotgun to a, quote, shooting position, leading to agents shooting him and killing him. Officials said that President Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago during that incident. 2 law enforcement sources identified the suspect to NBC News as Austin Tucker Martin, a 21-year-old North Carolina man. President Trump scheduled to make his State of the Union address to Congress tomorrow night. He's expected to talk about a number of policy points, including global trade. This coming after his legal defeat from the Supreme Court last week, nullifying his emergency tariffs. Again, that State of the Union address is set for Tuesday night. It'll air right here on NBC Palm Springs at 6 o'clock. Let's take you back outside for a live look at our Agua Caliente casino camera in Palm Springs as the sun comes up on this beautiful Monday morning. Jerry, what's the weather looking like today?
Yeah, a mild start for us. 53 degrees in Palm Springs, light winds, 50% relative humidity. That will dry out to around 15% by the middle of the afternoon. Just 19 degrees up at the mountains at Big Bear, 46 Joshua Tree, 51, 29 Palms. Above normal numbers for some of us, like 59 degrees at Thousand Palms, 52 at Indio, 49 at the city of Coachella, 52 degrees at Banning right now. We'll see some high clouds moving late in the day, but for the most part, sunshine this afternoon with above normal temperatures for the Coachella Valley. Yeah, nothing on radar. We have mostly clear skies over us right now. But high pressure to the north of us will bring us that weak northeasterly flow into Southern California. That'll keep us dry. But a ridge of high pressure, that's the big news. It's not going anywhere over the next several days, ensuring our numbers will be several degrees above normal, middle 80s today with dew points around the mid 20s. 85 degrees today at Palm Springs. Again, the normal high for the city is 75. 85 degrees at Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, and La Quinta. Got 84 degrees at Indian Wells today. Tomorrow we add a few more degrees, but we had clouds too. We have a disturbance that'll stay to the north. We have a blocking high over the southwest right now. More on that in the full forecast, but temperatures move up to the upper 80s, low 90s on Tuesday, about the same on Wednesday, a little more sunshine. But winds will be an issue in our future too. I'll discuss that. Also, a peek at the nor'easter that's moving into the northeast right now on the other end of the country. We'll take a look at where it's snowing and how much it can get. Full forecast on the way.
All right, Jerry, we'll see you soon. Thanks. Well, the annual Steve Chase Humanitarian Awards were held in Palm Springs over the weekend. It was presented by Desert Care Network in collaboration with DAP Health. The event is named in honor of Steve Chase, an early DAP Health donor, volunteer, and board member. He was a major fundraiser for DAP. Organizers described the event as a movement that delivers comprehensive, life-changing care to those who need it most.
This is a mission-driven event. You're the driver of this event, and you're so committed, from like picking out the table linens to getting the sponsorship dollars. Why? Why is this event and this organization so important to you?
How lucky am I? I can afford healthcare. I can afford insurance. I have access to my doctors whenever I want them. How can I not, Stephen? How can I not? There's so many people out there that don't have access to care, and it's been a passion of mine since the 90s. And anybody that can should.
This year's honoree was former Palm Springs Mayor Lisa Middleton. I spoke with her prior to the event, and you can see that full interview on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Also held over the weekend in Palm Springs was Modernism Week. Sunday was the last day of the week-long celebration and came to a close with events like the Vintage Trailer Show. The event allows attendees to tour a thoughtfully curated collection of vintage trailers and RVs.
So when you watch the people come out of the trailers and their faces are lit up and they have these beautiful smiles on their faces, and you can just tell, so they're thinking of their days back in the 50s and 60s, and they're just excited.
In addition to checking out some unique and rare vintage trailers, people also shared their unique history and travels with each other. Modernism Week will return to the Valley in October for their fall show preview event that's set for October 15th through the 18th. Taking a quick peek to next weekend, though, the BNP Paribas Open serving up starting this coming Sunday, March 1st. The world-renowned event brings top players from all over the Indian Wells Tennis Gardens, including tennis icon Venus Williams, who has accepted a wildcard invitation to the tournament. This will mark her 10th appearance at the event. It all starts next Sunday with the women's qualifying rounds. Even if you don't plan to go to the event itself, it'll be a busy area. Our Know Before You Go travel expert Chris Gunterson will break it all down later during our Know Before You Go segment. Coming up on your morning news, a beloved board game Clue is coming to the McCallum Theater in a unique way. We sit down with one of the performers of Clue live on stage right after the break. And later, Chris Gunterson breaks down all the road projects you need to know before you go this week. But first, we're going to head back outside again to take a live look from our Agua Caliente Casino camera in Rancho Mirage. Looks like it's shaping up to be a beautiful day out there. Look at those gorgeous snow-capped mountains. Jerry's going to break down your full AccuWeather forecast for you straight ahead.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the deal guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
If you love a good whodunit with a lot of laughs along the way, this one's for you. The beloved mystery Clue live on stage is coming to the McCallum Theater for 7 performances starting Wednesday, February 25th through Sunday, March 1st. This fast-paced comedy is based on the classic board game and the iconic 1985 film. It's packed with colorful characters, physical comedy, and lots of clever twists. Joining us now is cast member Camille Capers, Lewis, who plays the unforgettable Miss Scarlet. Camille, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Clue is such a cultural touchstone. I love playing the board game with my family, and we were so excited to see the show on the McCallum lineup. How does this stage version bring those familiar characters and twists to life in a fresh way for a live audience?
Yes, I think that we all bring something so new and interesting to our characters. It's the play is based off of the beloved movie from the 80s, which is based off of the board game. So it has all those characters that you know. But we worked with the playwright to kind of create these characters in a new way and bring a new twist to characters that we all know and love.
Ooh, I love that. And you play Miss Scarlet, one of the most iconic characters in Clue. How would you describe her, and what's been the most fun part of stepping into this role for you?
Miss Scarlet is a lot of fun. She is a bombshell vixen kind of character. She wears a red dress, and she's very smart and very feisty and fiery and like witty. And I think that that's kind of been the most fun playing her. I love her wit. I love that she's so confident in herself and just like knows who she is. And I think, you know, it really is a confidence boost to step into those shoes every day.
Did you take your inspiration from past versions of Miss Scarlet, or did you bring your own little spin to the character?
I definitely think I brought my own little spin to it. I love the movie, and I love Leslie Ann Warren's portrayal, but there are so many things that I took inspiration from. I was working with Sandy Rustin, the playwright, and she told me that she really wanted me to watch a lot of old movies and take inspiration from these 1950s bombshells and how they talk and how they walk and how they carry themselves with such confidence. And so I watched a lot of old movies, but I also learned that there are Clue books and, you know, just passages and like little things here and there that I've taken to kind of create my version of what I think Miss Scarlet is. So it's been a lot of fun.
Without giving anything away, what should audience members be most excited about when they come to see the show at the McCallum?
They should be excited because it's really funny. We bring people a lot of joy, which I think is a wonderful part of this job. And it's a story that really keeps you on your toes. I don't think anyone's going to expect the ending and the finale. So it's going to be something that's really exciting for them to try and figure out.
Ooh, exciting. If you'd like to see Clue at the McCallum Theater, it runs February 25th through March 1st. As we mentioned, you can go to McCallumTheater.org for tickets. Camille, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And good luck. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new
Yeah, checking outside right now. We have mostly clear skies right now. A few high clouds out there, but for the most part, mostly sunny skies as you look at our Walter Clark 111 cam. Yesterday, we had above normal numbers. Are going to be a little warmer today. 46 degrees at Yucca Valley, 50. 29 Palms, 50 also at Indio. 53 degrees at Palm Springs. Winds light and variable right now in the Coachella Valley. We do have a northeasterly flow that'll develop later on today, but it'll be weak. We do have a high pressure center to our southwest, and we're seeing some of those high clouds rotating around the northern perimeter of that high, but that's about it. Mostly sunny skies expected, and of course nothing on radar over the southwest right now. High pressure at the surface to the north will bring us that weak northeasterly flow. That'll change beginning tomorrow, but high pressure will stick around over the next few days, and that'll ensure our numbers will be several degrees above normal. Today, lots of middle 80s in the valley with mostly sunny skies this afternoon. 85 degrees at Palm Springs and Indio, 80 Cabazon, 73 at Joshua Tree. Overnight lows in the 50s, even a 60-degree reading tonight at Palm Springs, putting us slightly above normal. Okay, that high pressure center is not going anywhere. It's a blocking high, which means troughs of low pressure. There'll be a couple for the next 7 days trying to make their way to southwest. Won't make it down here. They'll weaken and fall apart. So on Tuesday into Wednesday, all the rain stays well to the north of us in Northern California, but we will get some extra cloud cover tomorrow because of that system, and winds will begin to pick up too. You can see the ensemble forecast degrees. No rain for us on Tuesday, all of it to the north, and even some snow at the Sierra Nevadas. So no winds today, really. They pick up a little bit late on Tuesday. We get a wind shift. It'll be out of the northeast today. Late on Tuesday into Wednesday, it'll be onshore, and the San Gorgonio Pass could get low 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds, even gusty here in the wind-prone areas in the Coachella Valley. That backs off on Thursday. Surface moisture, dry. The numbers do move up with that onshore flow, but not all that much. We remain relatively dry with middle of the day relative humidity at their peak at around 20% in the middle of the afternoon. Okay, 88 degrees tomorrow with clouds in Palm Springs, 90 degrees at Indio. Again, a mix of sun and clouds for us, but above normal numbers. And we'll be there in the lower 90s on Wednesday afternoon. A little more sunshine, still some filtered sunshine for the Coachella Valley with high clouds. Okay, the big weather news is the Northeast. They're on the other end of the country, and they're getting quite a bit of snow. That nor'easter is centered offshore, and you can see it's spinning right here. It's bringing a lot of moisture and snow in the New England states from, Maine all the way down to Maryland. And you can see the advisories. There's over a dozen things going on there, including a blizzard warning and a winter storm warning. And winds will be an issue in those areas as well. Could get between 1 and 2 feet of snow with that system over the Northeast before it's all said and done over the next 48 hours. Okay, Comfort Air 7-day forecast, middle 80s today with lots of sunshine. High clouds, maybe some mid-level clouds moving in and out of the area. So mix of sun and clouds with a high of 88 degrees for Palm Springs, 90 under filtered sunshine Wednesday, low 90s stick around through the end of the week, but we'll be back to the middle 80s next week.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
Hashtag Holiday Calendar and Pop Quiz brought to you by One Coachella Valley. We have a couple questions coming up loosely related to one of the questions we have, and Chris is playing with us. He's got all the road conditions coming up in just a bit, right? Okay. Monday, February 23rd, 2026. It's Pinocchio Day today. That iconic animated Walt Disney film was released on this date, 1940. The story of the wooden puppet is based on a novel from 1883.
Oh.
Okay. Also National Banana Bread Day today. So what do you do with those bananas when they turn brown and mushy? You make banana bread. It's kind of like the lemon thing, right? Right? There you go.
So
Who doesn't like to nibble on the loaf of that? Also, I just got to say, it's Curling is Cool Day today. The Olympics just ended. I'm so sad they came to an end. But curling, I watched a little bit of that over the last 2 weeks. But yeah, that's today. And that was a high school sport that we had when I was going to school in northern Wisconsin.
Oh,
we
really?
had a curling team.
Did you ever try it?
Still do. No, never did.
Really?
But I can broom. I can sweep the garage very well. Also, it's National Tootsie Roll Day today. The chewy chocolate-flavored candy was introduced back in 1896, and we have two questions regarding Tootsie. Okay? Here's the first of two.
Ooh.
See if you know this one. Okay. It was an Austrian-American immigrant named Leo Hirschfeld who invented the chewy confection, the Tootsie Roll, in 1907. But where did the inspiration come from when Hirschfeld decided to call his candy a Tootsie Roll?
Oh,
Tootsie.
goodness.
Where did he come up with that? Is it A, his daughter's nickname, B, it's Hungarian for small treat, or C, it's a slang term for toes? What do you think it is? Tootsie Roll.
Oh, no.
Well, while you think about that, let's go to Chris right now. What do you got there, B?
You're going to go B. It is a slang for toes. They do look like little toes. I'll go with that.
Little tootsies. You got B's and a C. I got one A, but a lot of B's and C's, and yeah, it's his daughter's nickname.
Oh, goodness.
Hirschfeld used to call her Tootsie.
That's so
Clara
cute.
was her given name.
Oh,
but there you go. That's how
very
they got the
cute.
name of the candy. Isn't that sweet?
That is sweet.
In more
No
than
pun
one ways.
intended. Yeah.
Exactly. The 1982 film Tootsie stars Dustin Hoffman as a struggling actor who masquerades as a female in order to be hired as an actress on a TV soap opera. Coincidentally, the movie Tootsie won a Golden Globe for Best Comedy Film over another movie about cross-dressing, also released in 1982. Name this Blake Edwards directed motion picture. A, The Birdcage, B, Mrs. Doubtfire, or C, Victor Victoria.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was up for awards along with Tootsie. Which one could it be?
1982. I'm going to go C.
Yeah, okay, we're going to go C, and a V. Okay, got a C and a C. A wobbly C.
A wobbly C.
Yeah, Victor Victoria.
Yay,
You got that one right.
Great movie.
Yes, it was.
So good. So good. And Tootsie too, both of them.
Oh, they're all great
they're
films,
really funny.
right? Birdcage. Oh, my
Yeah,
God, it's
very
excellent.
funny.
Okay, back in a bit. See you in a bit, Tootsie.
Connecting the Valley. This is NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Welcome back on this Monday morning, February 23rd. I'm Mary Strong. Thanks so much for waking up with us. We've got your AccuWeather forecast coming up with Jerry in just a few minutes. But first, it's time for Know Before You Go, where we tell you about all the major construction projects going on in the Valley for the week, so you can avoid getting caught in traffic and know before you go. Joining us live from the CV Sync Traffic Management Center in Thousand Palms is Program Manager Chris Gunterson. Hi, Chris.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here with us.
USA.
USA. Hi, we were talking about the hockey game yesterday. That was absolutely brilliant. What are some of the areas we should avoid this week in town?
Well, some of them are usual subjects, but we're going to start in Indio with the Jefferson and Indio Boulevard construction. That's moving along. They worked a little bit over the weekend, so my guess is they're trying to get ahead of the game. That is scheduled to finish up by the end of March, just in time for the festivals out there in Indio. Your alternate route for that is going to be Monroe or Washington Street if you're going north-south, and then to get to the freeway. And then if you're traveling east-west, you want to use Fred Waring or Highway 111. Next up, we're going to go to La Quinta. This is the Adams Street paving project. They're currently on the north section, so between Adams and Fred Waring, doing the outside lanes first and then the inside. So that'll be a little bit busy in that area. We'll watch the traffic there at Fred Waring and Adams to make sure we get everybody through there. Your alternate route to avoid that would be Dune Palms Road. And then obviously you want to use Highway 111 to avoid any slowdown that might happen there at Fred Waring. We're going to talk a little bit more about Indian Wells. So next up, Indian Wells. The tennis tournament is right around the corner. We're going to be doing a lot to manage the traffic as we usually do every year. The highly impacted areas is Washington Street southbound. And then if you're down there on Highway 111, the left-hand turn going on to Miles. This is the routes that most people will take to get to the parking. So what you expect here, they usually open the gates at 10. So traffic usually starts to ramp up around 9:30, 10 o'clock during the morning. And then in the evening, you'll have the day session ending and the night session beginning. So there's this transition period where a lot of people come and going, and that happens between 4:30 and 6. So you combine that with rush hour traffic, it can get very busy. To avoid the area, just use Highway 111, stay in your outside lanes. And for Washington Street, you want to stay in the inside lane, which is lane number 1. That'll help you get through there a little bit. We'll give you some more details and remind you about the times. We may be able to get you some on-site footage, but for the most part, you'll avoid the area basically between 9:30 and noon, so to speak. And then in the evenings, 4:30 to 6. Now we have a project that's reached a landmark over in Palm Springs. So we're going to go to Palm Springs last but not least. So we have the South Palm Canyon Bridge project. They've reached a point where they're getting ready to move over to the other side of the bridge. So weather permitting, on Wednesday, the 25th, they're planning on swapping the traffic over to the west side so they can start construction on the east side. That's pretty exciting. It's progress. This is something that's been going on for a while. If you're in the area, get used to the new traffic pattern. To avoid any traffic congestion, use Sunny Dunes or Mesquite up there to Bellardo Road. But this is a nice milestone they've reached out there. So we look forward to how this is going to turn out. We've seen some of the new trees that have been put out there, and with the traffic control, it'll be a little bit different, but pretty much this, what do they say, the same but different. So we'll keep an eye on it and see how things go. But for that week, my only safety tip I have again is this today, it was a Range Rover.
Oh no, wasn't it like a Ford last week?
Yeah, he was a Chevy Blazer last week.
Or Chevy Blazer,
Ford Range
that's
Rover.
Right. I love how you are IDing people. You're like, hey, you with the Chevy Blazer, slow down.
So I have to be careful because if I do something wrong, people are going to point the finger at me.
There we go. Absolutely. But way to keep an eye on things, Chris. That's what I love about you. Have a great week.
Everybody have a great week.
Yeah, you too. We'll see you next Monday. Well, President Trump is doubling down on his tariffs after being handed a rare defeat by the Supreme Court last week. Reed Binion has details on that for us.
The whole thing is a farce.
Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom reacting to President Donald Trump's Saturday announcement that he's raising global tariffs to 15% from the 10% he imposed a day earlier.
It was 10% 2 days ago, maybe 20% tomorrow. I mean, this is madness.
The back-to-back tariff announcements came after the Supreme Court handed down a decision Friday, ruling the sweeping emergency tariffs Trump imposed last year are illegal. But the High Court's ruling only applies to the duties Trump imposed using one specific law. And the president immediately responded by saying he will now rely on other legal authorities to keep tariffs in place.
Other alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected.
The law Trump is relying on for his new 15% global tariffs requires that Congress approve the duties within 150 days for them to remain in effect. As for the tens of billions of dollars U.S. companies paid after Trump raised tariffs last year, Democrats are demanding the money be refunded.
He needs to return that money, needs to refund that money with interest. He can do that in a nanosecond. They could do that electronically. They can do electronically. They have the tariff codes. They have the ability.
But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says it's not that simple.
The Supreme Court did not address refunds. The Supreme Court remanded it down to a lower court. That could be weeks or months when we hear them.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Well, meanwhile, President Trump is set to talk about his tariff policies and more at his State of the Union address to Congress tomorrow night. It'll air right here on NBC Palm Springs at 6 o'clock in the evening. Apple may take a new approach to announcing new products. Bloomberg reports instead of rolling everything out at once, Apple is planning a 3-day flurry of announcements ending in an experience on March 4th that will consist of 3 events in New York, London, and Shanghai. That's where the press will have a chance to get hands-on with the new products. Apple is expected to unveil at least 5 new items, including a low-cost MacBook. Samsung is adding Perplexity's AI agent to its next flagship Galaxy devices as part of an expansion to support multiple AI agents. Perplexity will work with apps including Samsung Notes, Clock Gallery, Reminder, and Calendar. Samsung is holding its next Galaxy Unpacked event on Wednesday. It's time now for your Health Today, brought to you by Inland Empire Health Plan. More than 1 in 7 U.S. adults are estimated to have chronic kidney disease, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say as many as 90% of them have no idea they have it. When left untreated, this condition can cause irreversible damage, even death. Mandy Gaither explains how to know if you're at risk and what to do about it.
It's called the silent killer. Chronic kidney disease can progress before it's ever detected.
We've got an epidemic of kidney disease in this country.
Dr. Samir Parikh with the American Society of Nephrology says kidneys play a crucial role in the body and are closely linked to the heart since they constantly filter and clean blood. But when those filters are damaged, it can also strain the heart, and they don't regenerate.
So the filters we're born with have to last us our lifetime.
Parikh says conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and obesity can cause permanent damage to the kidneys, and as it's happening, there's often no pain.
The conditions wind up being very asymptomatic until you get to advanced stages. And even then, the symptoms can just be nonspecific, like fatigue or loss of appetite.
That's why Parikh says if you have risk factors or a family history of kidney disease, it's critical to get your numbers checked.
There's one test that tests how much filtering your kidneys are doing. That's a blood test. And there's another test that asks, are these filters becoming leaky or not working well? That's a urine test.
Parikh says early detection and treatment of kidney disease can significantly slow and even stop damage before it's too late.
Don't wait for symptoms.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, up next, the Winter Olympics wrapped up last night in Italy. Mark Barger has a look back at the final weekend of competitions right after the break. But first, let's head outside for a live look at our Agua Caliente casino camera in Rancho Mirage. What a gorgeous view. Jerry's going to break down your full AccuWeather forecast. He says more wind is on the way. He'll have details on that next.
Contests, and more. Go to NBCPalmSprings.com. Missed the news yet?
Walter Clark, 111 Cam, showing some of the high clouds. We'll see mostly sunny skies, a little thicker cloud cover tomorrow. I'll explain in just a bit. Yesterday, we had above normal numbers by a few degrees, 78 degrees, the high in Palm Springs, 75. We had 68 degrees the day before, Saturday, with mostly clear skies. Well, beginning today and the rest of the week, temps are going to be above normal in the Coachella Valley. Let's take a look at some of those temps right now. We have 46 degrees. You can barely see it, Yucca Valley, as we make the transition. You're 53 currently at Palm Springs, 48 at Banning, winds under 10 miles an hour. Not going to be an issue today. Very light and variable, but they do change beginning tomorrow. More on that coming up. So we have a high pressure center to our southwest over the Pacific, and you can see some of the high clouds rotating around the northern perimeter of that high, but nothing on radar, obviously, over Southern California or the southwest. High pressure, yeah, that's going to dictate our forecast over the next several days, ensuring we're going to be above normal. Not so bad today, but as we move into the next few days, we'll be around that 90-degree mark. But today, middle 80s under mostly sunny skies, a weak northeasterly flow, 85 degrees for many of us this afternoon under mostly sunny skies, overnight lows, 52 degrees at Indio, 60 at Palm Springs late tonight through tomorrow morning. That high sticks around. It is a blocking high because it's going to keep all those troughs of low pressures from making their way to the southwest. In fact, they stay to the north. You can see a little bit of green there indicating rain around central California. But temps move up thanks to that high, and clouds begin to move into the area too. But again, the ensemble forecast agrees any precipitation stays to the north of us. But winds, we'll get those because of that system. We have a northeasterly flow, although weak today. that'll turn more westerly beginning tomorrow night into Wednesday. Wednesday looks like the windiest day. San Gorgonio Pass, low to middle 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds and 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds around the Coachella Valley and Desert Hot Springs. That backs off on Thursday. Surface moisture moves up a little bit with that onshore flow, but not all that bad. We remain dry in the Coachella Valley. Upper 80s, lower 90s. That'll be tomorrow under some clouds. And then around 90 degrees at Palm Springs, 92 at Indio on Wednesday afternoon with high clouds. Okay, northeast, that's where the nor'easter is bringing quite a bit of snow. You can see on our radar how widespread that is from Maine to Maryland. And we have lots of warnings around there regarding the snow. We have a blizzard warning along the coast along with a winter storm warning in those areas. And we could get up to 2 feet of new snow around the Massachusetts area. You can see how widespread that is. Okay, here, yeah, it's the best weather in the nation with middle 80s today under mostly sunny skies. Tuesday, some high clouds mixed with mid-level clouds, but a mix of sunshine and clouds. 88 degrees Tuesday. Gusty winds out of the west on Wednesday. 92 degrees with mostly sunny skies Thursday.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest broadcasts, digital exclusive content, contests, and more. Go to NBCPalmSprings.com. NBC Palm Springs Sports, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
The Milan Cortina Olympics have wrapped up, and there was one last golden moment for Team USA. NBC's Mark Barger has the latest from Milan.
Greetings from Milan, where 46 years to the day after Team USA's miracle on ice against Russia in Lake Placid, they pulled off another huge hockey victory on Sunday here in Milan. Not quite as miraculous, but definitely thrilling.
United States with numbers.
It took less than 2 minutes of overtime.
Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States.
Jack Hughes' goal gave the U.S. a 2-1 victory over arch rival Canada and its first hockey gold medal since those 1980 Olympics.
You dream of winning a gold medal for your country. You know, a lot of talk for us was breaking the drought. We thought this was the group that could do it. And, you know, we're gold medalists. We're the champions. tonight we're the best in the world.
Hours later, and about 100 miles away in Verona, it was all about this host country, Italy, bidding farewell to these 25th Winter Games and its athletes, including Norway's Johannes Klæbo, who received his 6th and final gold medal, a record for a single Winter Games. The closing ceremony brought high tech into an arena built in 30 AD, and it included the handover of the Olympic flag to the next Winter Games host, the French Alps. The official extinguishing of the Olympic cauldron marked these games concluded. Norway wound up leading the medal count in these games with 41, 18 of those gold. Those are both records, and the U.S. had 33 medals overall. 12 of those were gold. That's the most ever for the U.S. in a Winter Games. In Milan, one last time, Mark Barger, NBC News.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
One film in particular is looking more like a favorite, with the Oscars just a few weeks away. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home, and I cannot remember for the life of my only child the answer to your question.
One battle after another has dominated another award show, this time the British Academy's BAFTAs. The darkly comic action epic won 6 awards, including Best Film and Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson.
Connie Glass, you're a spy. Nothing gets past the feds, does it? Come on, we got work to do.
CIA stars Tom Ellis as an operative who reluctantly teams with an FBI agent played by Nick Gelfus. Ellis says one thing that drew him to the show was filming in New York.
Shooting out in the street in New York is a real experience, and one that I've never experienced before in my career. In that, normally when you're shooting outside, the area that you're shooting is locked off and that it's not open to the public. We don't really have that luxury in New York because nobody stops for anything. So, you know, there are scenes in the show where, you know, Nick and I are weaving our way through public and traffic and people taking selfies, and it's all real, essentially.
CIA debuts today on CBS and Paramount Plus. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, NBC has some post-Olympic premieres lined up for tonight. Tracy Morgan returns along with Daniel Radcliffe in the new comedy The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins, which has an hour-long premiere. That's followed by a new season of The Voice, which features a major change. Mark Barger has a preview for us.
I was an NFL superstar.
But you were banned for life from football.
I mixed up some phone numbers. It can happen to anyone.
Pairing Tracy Morgan.
Point is, I'm excited.
And Daniel Radcliffe in a comedy may not have been an obvious choice.
The word is voila. But me and him, the word is voila.
Don't cook breakfast in a tuxedo.
But sometimes the unexpected works.
Is that a turkey?
Oh boy.
When I make... There's been a few times where, like, when I make Tracy laugh, it's always very satisfying. I was like, yeah, man, I got it, yeah.
The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins has Morgan's title character in need of an image rehab.
Cameras will be filming everything, the highs and the lows.
And he hires Radcliffe's disgraced filmmaker, Arthur Tobin, to do it with a fawning documentary.
What's your little movie called? I'm a loser? We don't have a title yet.
They both kind of desperately need each other.
The fun is bringing that codependency to life.
If you laugh, I laugh. If you cry, I cry. If you jump out a window, you by yourself.
And after Reggie, The Voice is back with 3 veteran coaches.
It feels like less of an assembly line and more like 3 people kind of hanging out on weird chairs.
For a battle of champions.
I'm the first coach ever to win the show.
But I have won the most!
Every aspect of the show is just the level of competition.
Raising the stakes for season 29.
It feels elevated, so it feels like this win will feel even sweeter whenever I do win.
Mark Barger, NBC Entertainment.
Oh, really looking forward to that. Well, if you'd like more information on our stories this morning, you can head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Our top stories and breaking news are on our homepage, and on our newsroom tab, you're going to find our stories and community events organized by date. We'll be right back with a recap of your weather forecast and your top local headlines. Stay right here.
Missed the news yesterday? website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website.
And here's a quick recap of your top local stories. Community members gathered in Salton City yesterday to honor the life of 17-year-old Tania Tovar. Tovar was first reported missing at the start of December. Months later, investigators discovered remains found near Salton City at the end of last year were in fact hers. The vigil was held just outside of 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum's home. That's a suspect accused of murder in connection with the case. Feinblum is being held without bail and is expected to appear at the Imperial County Superior Court this morning. Also in court this morning, Coachella Mayor Stephen Hernandez. He's scheduled to appear at the Indio Courthouse this morning for continued hearings in his perjury trial. Mayor Hernandez was first arrested and charged in the case back in October of 2025 and faces multiple felony charges of perjury as well as conflict of interest. That hearing is set for 8:30 this morning. And a final recap of your weather forecast.
Yeah, above normal numbers for the rest of the week. We're going to be flirting with 90s very soon. Today, yeah, it'll be nice. Middle 80s today, mostly sunny skies. Things change a little bit tomorrow, a little extra cloud cover. But today, 85 degrees, lots of sunshine for Palm Springs, same for Indio and Rancho Mirage. Upper 80s, lower 90s tomorrow, a little extra cloud cover. Winds will begin to pick up late Tuesday, especially Wednesday out of the west. We'll get some gusty winds with a high of 90 degrees.
And thanks for joining us this morning. We hope you go out and make it a wonderful Monday. We'll have more news.